Okay. Before I introduce Craig Anderson, Isabel Rusch, what is this, our third or fourth program so far? I forget.
This is our second.
Oh, so we have one in a row, basically, right?
Yeah.
Excellent.
On a roll.
Okay. Our guest today, our highly esteemed guest and arts, I can't say maven, can I? Arts aficionado, Craig Anderson. Let me ask you a question. Since I have a number of questions, I actually, for the first time, which is one time after our last show, asked the interviewee what type of questions they would like to be asked, rather than my
and what did I say?
Specific questions. A number of things, but of import. I'd like to go back to the diversity of the city, because that was when I felt you were impassioned about what the city is, and I think of it more before, of course, I asked the question, I answered part of it, but my early visage of it was a lot of people coming here, go to the Chicago Art School, come down from Seattle, want to start a new life, take a few painting classes, have a few too many drinks, go through semi-alcoholic treatment, and then get a dog, and then live the life of Santa Fe society, whatever that means.
Yeah.
But I think you have a different purview.
I first came here in 1971. Or I should just speak for myself and say, I was looking for a place to reinvent myself.
Did you miss Haight-Ashbury or something? 'Cause that's my visage of it. Is if you missed Haight-Ashbury, you could be 50 years old and come in and do all those things you didn't do back then.
Yeah,
but
if you
everybody
didn't get
thought
around
that
to
you
those
did.
things, yeah.
Not everybody in the
Woodstock,
60s was a hippie or
etc.
70s,
Yeah.
right?
No.
No, not
But
right.
Santa Fe was a whole different place in the 70s. I mean,
Were the horses on the plaza?
yeah, there were maybe one
horse?
traffic light in town. There were no national franchise chains. You couldn't buy a McDonald's hamburger or anything like that in Santa Fe in the early 70s.
You're an artist, and your wife is an artist. And Are you in galleries now, or how do you sell your art?
Well, my wife is Catherine Kirkwood. She's a painter. I'm a little biased, but I think she's a really good painter.
I like the work too, a lot.
And she's shown in a number of galleries in town over the years. And
It's time for our sponsor. Do we have any sponsors? Or sponsoring our show?
We've done this for like one day.
What about that woman who does cat declawing down in Cerritos?
Well, did she say that
she said
your
no, she didn't
sponsor?
want it. No. Her husband, and he also does home dentistry, but he doesn't have a license.
It's
okay.
It's an unofficial business. It's an unofficial sponsor.
Okay, fine. What about your art? You talk about your wife's art. What's going on?
I work as an arts agent and a consultant, and I work with a broad spectrum of artists.
Do you have a site?
I have a website, CraigAndersonArts.com.
CraigAndersonArts.com. That's pretty catchy. Are you supposed to put something in it? Oh, arts.com. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it's about art.
Wait, I do have one question though, just like about art in general. What makes it like significant in your life? I think a lot of times people don't really understand like why art would be important or why that would matter to people, and clearly you've committed a lot of your life to it.
It's true. I have been a visual learner my entire life. I'm more interested in work that's got a conceptual background, that has some substance, that's a little bit mysterious. I like people to think.
One of the last things you were speaking of at DTS, Downtown Subscriptions, also Senior Center.
Casey, yeah.
We're not sponsored by any of these places.
Was the fact that how hard it is financially in other ways for artists to make a living, and gallery owners as well, to make a true living in Santa Fe. So I joke about people who come here as trust fundies and open up their studios and show their own art and close down 6 months later. But what's the real reality and practicality of owning a gallery in Santa Fe? I've owned one before as well.
It's a tough gig, It's hard to be a gallerist, I think, because you have to be so focused and you have to be so on your game in terms of the goal and the purpose is selling art and representing artists, you cannot rely on walk-in traffic. You have to work the net. You have to develop a list of potential purchasers, clients. You have to talk with other gallerists. You gotta. I mean, it's a business. It's a business, and if you don't pay attention to the principles of business, it's tough to make it.
Santa Fe, is it a rumor or some type of truth that we're the third or fourth biggest art market in the world or in the United States, or what do you think?
I think certainly in the United States, it's probably New York, LA, Santa Fe, and Miami. I mean, in one weekend at Indian Market, millions of dollars pass through this city, and people are fascinated by indigenous culture. And that raises a question about culture for sale. One of the things I learned 7 years at the IAIA was that, it's like everybody wants to cash in. I mean, that's a vast generalization, but people want to cash in on things that are valuable and moving in the market. So the baseline would be buy things that are made by Native American individuals, and people come to do that during Indian Market. Pottery, jewelry, paintings, sculpture. That's fantastic, and a lot of Native people earn a wonderful living doing that. Then there are knockoff artists that are doing things that are poached from
Right.
other
Who
cultures.
shall
whatever.
remain nameless,
Yeah.
in stores that perhaps aren't exactly
Well,
owned
yeah.
by Native Americans, nor are showing authentic work.
Stores and galleries. And,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's obvious just if you go down on the plaza, because there's a specific space on the plaza where Native Americans are allowed to sell their work. And then across from that is essentially people who are not Native, who are selling, New Mexico styled
Mm-hmm.
art.
I would really like your opinion, as you would, on Meow Wolf. What's the impact of R.R. Martin and Meow Wolf and impact in Santa Fe? And I hear they have plans to go beyond Santa Fe. I don't know much about it, and I'd like to be enlightened about it.
I know some things about what they're up to. The key thing for me was while I was the director at Center for Contemporary Arts, there was a proposal actually already in the hopper when I got there about do a Meow Wolf show.
Why do they name it a deneutered wolf? I don't fucking get the
Wait,
Okay,
what?
here's why.
well,
Here's why.
Meow Wolf.
Yeah,
I mean,
here's
no
why.
offense. I don't
Here's why.
know how
Yeah.
where that name came from.
It
Wait,
comes directly from art history, from Dada, from Marcel Duchamp and others. Basically, it's, and this is a story I heard, you're looking for a name for your arts group, you have two hats or two bowls or whatever, and you have potential names in each bowl. Meow Wolf?
Like, Meow Wolf is kind of a dog. It's like a wolf with less bark.
How about
Like Meow Wolf is kind of a dog. It's like a wolf with less bark.
how about dog less bark, whatever it is. I find it a little. I mean, they didn't build it for. I mean, the whole concept isn't exactly for people my age. I kind of get that, and of course, like a lot of, I feel it's a touch cliquish, but I've been down there once. I've been in a
think of
theme
what
park.
they did, man. It's
Okay,
like,
tell me what they did.
well, I was a director at Center for Contemporary Arts, and they had an idea about building this big ship in one of the big galleries there, and that was a thing that was so super successful. I extended the show a month just because it was super successful, and that really helped them launch their career, so to speak, their artistic career, I think, and they became involved with George R.R. Martin and the bowling alley, and the rest is history. It's a huge
Great.
success.
Great.
Yeah.
Craig, it's a pleasure and honor to have you
Oh,
on
come
our
on.
Richard's Point
Yeah.
of View.
My pleasure too. Lots of fun.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, lots of fun.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
you're welcome.